Star Family Conference. Alex Collier at the Star Family Conference, March 1997. Transcript copyright 1997 Leading Edge Research Group. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule and coming to hear what I have to say. When I talk, I don't like to talk in terms of rehashing things that I have talked about for the last 3 or 4 years. So, with your permission, I would just like to move on to where I basically left off the last time. If you are looking for information, there is information on the internet. If you really want it, you can find it, because it's out there. Wanted to talk about a couple things. I wanted to give you some history that has been shared with me. We're going to deal pretty much with Jehovah and Nibiru, and I also want to talk to you about the Hopi prophecy, as well as my own thoughts about the Hopi prophecy. I also wanted to read you information from Morni and the CEOs themselves. I want to start out by saying that I haven't heard all the speakers here. I am sure they've all been great and have had something to contribute. In fact, all of you do as well. It's great to come to some of these things and see the same people. But, ladies and gentlemen, I am just going to be blatantly honest here. You know, some of you have stories to tell, and some of you need to get off your butts and start talking yourselves. Our planet needs leaders, and a lot of us have made huge investments, thinking that our politicians are going to be the leaders, and that they are going to do the right things. The joke is on us, literally. They have really helped to screw things up, and our apathy has compounded the problem. So, the next few years are going to be extremely challenging for all of us, especially here in the United States, and the true leadership of humanity is you. I am asking you to seriously consider doing something about it, and to stand up and take the leadership role. It's not about me. It's not about all the other speakers. We do this in the hope that you will want to take responsibility and do what we are doing. Keep passing the torch, so to speak. The other thing I wanted to say is that a lot of folks just want to hear love and light. They just want to hear how you're going to be rescued, how you're going to be saved, and how everybody is going to take care of everything so you don't have to do anything. If that is really where you're at, you really ought to leave now, because that is not the message that I have to deliver. There are both good and bad. We live in a duality, and you have to take responsibility for both, and you have to live in the midst of both. The whole idea is to find balance, which is in the middle. We are all searching for that. Until we find it, we all have to participate. A very wise man once said, "Facts do not cease to exist, just because you choose to ignore them." To those of you who simply want to hear the love and light, that's great, but you're out of balance. We need leadership and people with ideas on how to fix problems, starting with yourself, your family and the local level. The president and the UN can't sign a piece of paper and fix everything. It starts here at the local level, and it starts in the heart. Only you can do that. I can't change your mind, I can't even tell you what to think. You're going to have to want to change and open up your perception to find out what is really going on. This also includes having the courage to really want to know what is going on. Okay, that's my soapbox. In the 6 months, pay attention to all the UFO activity that is going to be occurring on Greenland. The reason a lot of this will be going on is simply because many of the races will be entering and leaving at the polar areas. I want to talk about Jehovah. There is a lot of talk about Jehovah, and this also relates to the Hopi prophecy in an indirect way. I want to say up front that there are huge risks involved with breaking apart belief systems, And just because something has been believed for thousands of years and has been taken for granted does not mean that it is based on fact. We do not have to create or fulfill the book of Revelations, or fulfill a Hopi prophecy wherein we all are extinguished. I truly do not understand that kind of belief system. Why believe in something and pull something to you that will take you all out? Now, the Andromedan message has been that we are royalty because of our genetics, which include both the extraterrestrial and the primate. We are extremely unique. Many races see us as a benefit and some see us as a threat. I'm not really clear why we represent a threat to some of them, other than prejudice and bigotry is there. I have been taught ever since I was a boy that prejudice is an extraterrestrial / perspective. We were taught this type of behavior, and we have only continued to propagate it generation after generation. It has never served our race. Never. I do not understand why it continues to propagate. The women who spoke before me talked about prejudice. The reality is that prejudice is big business in our society. It's all about money. Again, I come back to the point I made earlier, that you are the leaders, and you are going to have to stand up and take responsibility. I am not talking about going out to save the world, but I am talking about families. Be a hero to your family, and to yourself. Nobody can beat you up, or put you down unless they have your consent. Do you follow? You only have to consent to believe that garbage. If you don't consent, then it isn't real. It's so simple and subtle that people don't see it. Our world is made up of a lot of subtleties. Okay, I'm going to read a little history here, and then we will move on. The Old Testament God is an extraterrestrial. Is that simple enough? Does everybody get that? The New Testament God is also an extraterrestrial. They are not one and the same. But we are just going to deal with the one who the Hebrews call Jehovah. Now, the Andromedans have what we would interpret as a camera, which they use as they travel through space. They take pictures of moons, stars, and planets, and this camera records things holographically. Depending on the setting, it will also record the actual history of what they are aiming this device at. They have taken many pictures of our planet, and they have separated this holographic picture into time frames, where they can see and record